Hello, Facebook. Please permit me to read this music inside my phone. I have no copyright. Thank you.
We give every glory and adoration, every exaltation. We come before thee this evening to present your truth to the whole world, that mankind may testify in time to come that it wasn't man that did it, that they had no strength of their own, they had no army, they had no weapons. All they had was the gospel of truth and of redemption. And behold, because their hearts and their minds were clean, because the Almighty found them unblemished, that was why they were blessed, and everything they asked for came to pass. That was why this same generation, this very Ipob shall endure, for flesh cannot be mortalized, but the truth of the Most High, who is timeless, who is ageless, shall prevail. And upon that very promise do we pray this evening, because your words are yea and amen. People wonder, how come you loved David so much? Man couldn't understand that David knew how to ask thee for anything that he wants. There was nothing that David ever asked for that he didn't give to him. That same secret is what we have. That is what we present before thee, to the hearing of the entirety of humanity this very evening, morning, noon or night, depending on where you're listening from. That we make this proclamation that your words are yea and amen, because you are God. Anything you say must come to pass. You are not man. Anytime, any word that you utter, documented by the sons of men in the Torah, in the scriptures, must come to pass. Because your spirit, you are not not man. You are not mortal. Every word you utter must come to pass. And on that very premise do we anchor this very agitation. Because we go back to your scriptures, to your unadulterated, untampered with scriptures. In the book of Jeremiah we pray, chapter 16, verse 14. That is our prayer this very evening from where I am. You said, for you are Lord, you are God, you are the beginning and the end. There is nothing you created which can be equated nor used as an adjective to describe thee. You are bigger than all that man can ever imagine that you are. Only you is the beginning of time itself. That is why the ancients call you the ancient of days, the ancients of the ancients. For that is who you are. The I am that I am, and these are your words because you are God. You said that a time is coming. According to the prophet Jeremiah, you said that a time is coming, and that time is now, this 2020. You said the time is coming when people will no longer swear by me as the living God who brought the house of Israel out of bondage in Egypt. These are your words because you're God. You said a time shall come when people will no longer swear that this God of Moses, that led the God of Moshe, that led the Israelites out of the bondage and suffering in Egypt. Instead, these are your words, O Heavenly Father, with every reverence, humility, and submission. You said, instead they will swear by me as the living God because you are living, everlasting, eternal, who brought his people out of the northern lands, out of the bondage from the north, for we inhabit the south. We are from the southeast. Oh Heavenly Father, you said, no longer will we remember you as the God of miracles that brought Israelites out of Egypt. We shall know thee as the God that delivered his children from the criminals and darkness from the north. These are your words. And you were talking about Biafra. We are now going to swear by thy name and say, this God of Biafra that led his children out of the iniquitous existence which Britain fabricated for your children. And you said we are going to return from where you scattered us, from where they are killing us in Indonesia, from where they are killing us in Malaysia, from where we have been imprisoned in Brazil, from all the places we are suffering, all the places where we are being humiliated at the moment. You said, I will bring you back to your own country, to the land that I gave your ancestors, because I am God and I have spoken. And who is man to say no to the word of God? Or Ejimakor. Upon this we anchor all that we do. We have no strength of our own. Upon your promise that came forth from the mouth of the prophet Jeremiah 16:14, you said, I will deliver you from the bondage from the north. The world will no longer say, this God of Moshe that led the Israelites out of Egypt. They will say, the God of Biafra that delivered them from the forces of darkness from the north. You were very specific. You said from the north. And you are God, and may your name be blessed forever and ever. He said, he said, he said.
Hello, my wonderful people of Biafra, friends of Biafra, and lovers of freedom. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and depending your time zone. This is Mazi Zumezu Nwekwensu. As I welcome you to this wonderful edition, please do welcome others. We are live at our various platforms at Facebook, Ikechukwu Umadi Ezumezu. Please, if you are listening to the sound of our voice, please hit the like button and share the program. We're also live at Ikechukwu Ezumezu. Please, if you are listening to the sound of our voice, please hit the like button and share the program. And we're also live at Ikechukwu Mazi Ezumezu Nwekwensu. please also do the needful and share the program. We are live at YouTube, our wonderful YouTube. Please, if you are listening to the sound of my voice there, please share the program from YouTube. It's very important. Now, because of we don't have much time, I'm going to welcome IPOB principal officers, senior principal officers around the world, and all protocol observed. They are going to introduce themselves one after another before I wepụtara unu nnekwu mmọnwụ anyị ji maka ya wee kwakwuo ọnọdụ a tata. It's very important. Now, Mazi, you are welcome, Mazi. You are welcome, Mazi. You are welcome. You are welcome, Mazi. You are welcome. Was I think I saw. Uh, please, Mazi friend, please introduce yourself to Biafran, please. It's very important, please.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Mazume. Good evening, good evening, dear friends. I am Ifrem Okechukwu Ugu, the Financial Secretary IPOB Italy. We welcome you this evening for our special broadcast. And as the presenter said, we have a very special guest tonight. So sit back, relax, and watch what we have for you this evening. Thank you very much.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mazi. Please, the next person, please, Mazi.
Good afternoon, Mazi, and good afternoon, my fellow comrades from here. My name remains Amadeus Chukwume Ekezie. By His grace, IPOP National Treasurer in Italy and also Sandora Coordinator. I welcome the viewers who are with us this afternoon to listen what we are going to say, and also expecting our guest, our leading counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor. There were no more Chineke.
Yeah, you're welcome, Mazi. Please, National, Mazi, please introduce yourself, please.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Mazi Emeka Iwuagu. I am the National PRO for IPOB USA. It's my pleasure to see all of you. Thank you.
You're welcome, Mazi. Please, next person, Mazi Cosmos, please.
Good morning from here, fellow dear friends. My name is Mazi Cosmos Duru. I serve as the Maryland coordinator, IPOB. As we go, I would like to, our dear friends, like we said, as you are listening to us, please share the program. Again, we're here to chat and interact with Odogu nnukwu mmanwụ anyị nwere ebe taa. Ekelele m onye ọbụla. Greetings all. Please pardon me, I'm at work. Thank you.
Yeah, I'm there with Mazi. Please, Mazi Ogbonna, please, Mazi, please. Mazi, can you hear me? Okay, you unmute yourself. Okay, let me unmute you. Mazi Ogbonna, Mazi, German National Coordinator, please. No, it's not coming out. Your voice is not coming out.
He's on mute.
Can you unmute yourself? Unmute yourself there, I can't do it here. Mazi, can you unmute yourself? Can you? or maybe you can go out and come in with your this thing, come in with your mic. Maybe you did not have your mic or something. Or maybe you unmute yourself there over there. Well, when he was doing that, because we don't have much time, and it's very important.
He can go out and come back in.
Yeah. Mazi, can you go out and come back again, please? Okay, so now let's welcome our guest. Yeah. IPOB.
One family.
One family,
IPOB.
one
One
family.
family.
One family.
IPOB.
Please let's welcome Ijele, the wise counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor. Barrister, please, you are welcome. Because anakwụkwọ aka ebe a biko nụ. Anakwụkwọ aka ebe a biko nụ. Anakwụkwọ aka ebe a biko nụ. The wise counsel, Barrister Aloy Ejimakor, you are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. Today, ya dị egwu. Ama na ndị iro na-anọgharị mana nsogbu adịgoloba. No? But at the same time, we thank Chukwu Okike Abiama for our own barrister, the wise counsel, to be in our midst today to address the world and tell us what we need to know. Because as a barrister, he will not tell us all. He will tell us he will tell us what is good for the public or what is for public domain. But as a barrister, they have their confidential issues. So you have to keep those ones and tell us the one that is public, that the one we deserve to know. So it's very important. Barrister, the White Council, please. You are welcome. Address Biafrans, please. Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes.
Okay, yeah, because it occurred to me that you never used to hear me. I was
Yeah.
I was trying to say hello to my brethren here, my distinguished brethren gathered here today. I say hello to you from Nigeria. Before I continue, you can hear me, right?
Yes, go on. You are perfect. We can hear you perfect.
Yes,
Yeah.
we can hear you. Go ahead.
Okay. First of all, let me thank Mazi Ezumez for this opportunity to address Biafrans and to be in the company of my able and patriotic brethren here today. I greet you, Mazi Chukuma. I greet you, Mazi Ephraim. Okay, Chuku. I greet you, Mazi Emeka Iwabo and Mazi Cosmos, who is off screen right now. Mazi Cosmos introduced himself as of Ipob, Maryland. I used to live in the Maryland in the United States. So I bond with you today as a brother and also as your representative and as also special counsel to Mazin Namdekani, the supreme leader of the indigenous people of Biafra. I thought this was going to be a question and answer session, but Mazi Ezumezu has, in his wisdom, determined the format to be one in which I am free to speak on any topic that I deem to be relevant to this broadcast today. Well, the first topic I will have to handle is this. Number one, what Mazi Ezbez is doing is exemplary. I think is what every one of us who has such capacity should be doing. I know we don't all possess such capacity. I don't have any capacity for this kind of media. My capacity lies in tweeting. I'm a tweet tiger and I use it to the hilt to push and promote our agenda. I'm also minimally present and visible on Facebook, and I'm sure all the Mazis here today, my brethren, they have their different capacities, but there's something special, something exceptionally effective about using the medium of this medium like this to push the agenda, and the agenda is the freedom for our people, halt to the persecution that has become widespread and that has affected thousands of our young men and women who are languishing in detention in various parts of Nigeria today. And freedom for the big elephant in the room, the alpha male. I love to call him those two names, not for any other reason other than I see this man, Mazen Nambikano, as the undisputed leader of 70 odd million Igbos spread all over the world and who predominantly reside in Nigeria. His leadership also extends beyond Igbo land and reaches the inner boundaries of South Nigeria to encapsulate even non-Igbos. So I don't call him alpha male for nothing. I don't call him the big elephant for nothing. And I do believe that anybody who is currently involved in the enterprise of seeking his freedom, and anybody who is currently involved in the enterprise of seeking freedom for our people, and anybody who is currently involved in fighting injustice against our people, is someone that needs to be respected, such as Ezumezu and the rest of you Mazis that are gathered here today. I know that in your various ways, seen and unseen, you are making enormous contributions to the task at hand. And I thank you all for that. At this moment in Nigeria, I can wager that the Nigerian security agencies are listening.
Yep.
I'm not going to be afraid. I'm a counsel duly authorized under the domestic and international law to speak for my clients and to act for my clients to the best of my ability. I am not going to be muscled. So I speak to you today freely and fearlessly. I will start with the current situation of things because I know a lot of people will be wondering what is going on since the last court outing where Nnamdi Kanu was seen, and that was on September 24th. Well, a lot has happened. Some of it was in the public domain, some are not. There has been a lot of legal maneuvers to put paid to this tribulation, to this illegal detention that is now bereft of any legal justification. We have three appeals before the Court of Appeal. We also have other things in the bag to throw into the judiciary. The aim of all of this is to bring the maximum legal and judicial pressure to bear towards the direction of securing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's freedom without further ado. I may not speak so freely about the political maneuvers and brinkmanship as his ways rightly surmised. Certain things are not brought into the media space. They are better left alone because when they are brought into the media space, spoilers might jump into the pot and try to muddle things up and spoil things for us. But as I speak to you today, political horse trading, brinkmanship, jostlings, and interfacings are ongoing. Those are not within my brief. My brief is very specific. My brief is to deploy domestic, municipal, and international law to the defense of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and IPOB members, and IPOB as an organization. However, the politicians who are fronting themselves as sincere, the politicians or the political leaders who have cast themselves in the mold of people who are concerned about what is going on and people who are outraged about it and people who are disapproving of it, they have decided to do one or two things, and they do approach me for information. A lot of times, the information is 100% limited to the cases that the legal team has won in court. In particular, some of the cases I won before the African Union, and the one my colleague Bruce Fine in the United States won before the United Nations, and the other one that was won before the High Court of Abia State regarding Python dance, and the one before the Federal High Court in Abia State regarding extraordinary rendition, and the one before the High Court in Enugu State regarding unconstitutionality of prosecution by POB. All those things and all these judgments and tribunal decisions are in play as the leaders, those that call themselves our leaders. I don't have any opinion of them one way or the other, but my principle is if someone steps forward and he appears to be sincere about joining us in fighting against this injustice, such a person should be rendered as much intellectual or material support as possible and let the chips fall where they may. What we do have though at this moment, and it has been going on for many years, I have to use this forum to condemn it in the strongest terms, is this. We know the Nigerian government is in opposite to what we are doing. We know that our opponent in court, we know that our opponent in court is the Federal Republic of Nigeria and the Nigerian government. We know that those that are traducing our use are the security agencies. But when it comes to social media, it is not often the Nigerian government that is giving us or Biafrans the greatest headache. It is the Biafrans themselves that are giving one another the greatest headache. This very program today, because I appeared on this very program today, watch out for what is going to happen. Those that claim to be Biafrans, those that claim to be members of IPOB, will jump into the saddle and follow this program wherever it is published, YouTube, Facebook, Twitter. They will follow it to every social media network and make sure that they put a negative spotlight on it with a lot of criticisms and blackmail and lies and outright falsehoods. They will report the program to Facebook and report it to Twitter with the idea of putting a negative algorithm on it and with the idea of pulling it down or idea of slowing down its circulation in social media. This is just a tip of the iceberg. They do it to me. They do it to me on Twitter. They do it to me on Facebook. And it's not only me. So it's not personal to me. They're doing it to everybody, every well-meaning person. All you need to do is to say something or do something in favor of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu or in favor of Biafrans, and they will jump in and start dealing with you with all sorts of and all manners of falsehoods. I know that some people might be thinking, quite rightly, that the Nigerian government may be doing some of these things through its agents. But I can tell you, my brothers, Nigerian government hardly possesses such widespread social media dominance or presence. The number one group in all of Nigeria of the present day that possesses the most dominant social media presence is the indigenous people of Biafra. Unless someone is telling me that the Nigerian government has infiltrated the indigenous people of Biafra and now hiding under known names and unknown names to be traducing people and to be putting down every effort on using the instrumentality of the social media to be putting down every effort geared towards the release of Nnamdi Kanu and the acceleration of referendum on the Biafran question. This, my brothers, is the greatest drawback, is the greatest threat to the struggle. It is the greatest threat to the freedom of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and it is the greatest threat to the effort being made by everybody, including my humble self, Ejimakor, and the rest of you, including the money that you are contributing. Contribution of money is an effort itself. This is the greatest threat to that effort that everybody is making in their own small or big ways towards the common goal. That is why I stand here today to condemn it in the strongest terms and to call on those who have given themselves to this foolishness. There's nothing else to call it. It's very silly, it's very stupid of people to do this. The Igbo people are noted for their intelligence. It is not easy. You cannot toy with a tribe that got together in 1967 and held or defended its freedom for 3 whole years. Are we saying that the class of 1967 is better than the class of today? Are we not supposed to be better than our fathers and grandfathers? Does the human evolution stop with the Igbo man? We are supposed to be intelligent and smart. We are supposed to be, we are imbued with a lot of wisdom. So what is it that got into us that we are now at each other's throat because the supreme leader is in incarceration? So I will ask my brethren here today and anybody who is listening to advise and cajole and to condemn and to resort to any means possible to make sure that this kind of behavior is checked and curtailed. Henceforth, witches and wizards should not be suffered lightly. If you encounter anybody who is rubbishing himself on social media, thinking he's rubbishing Barrister Aloy Ejimakor or rubbishing Ezumezu, or rubbishing the people, the wonderful Biafrans that are contributing to the struggle and to the task at hand of freeing Mazen Nandekano. If you encounter such a people or such a person, you deal with him mercilessly within the confines of the law. So, my brethren, that is where we are. And as far as fighting for the release of Mazen Nandekano is concerned, myself and the legal team are committed ironclad to that task. Our goal is simple and it is clear. We have set our sights at the goalpost of freedom and victory. And I do myself personally, I come with a history and a background of victories and laurels for the IPOB, Biafrans, Igbos, and
Oh, I think in the network, his network take him out. I think he will join us. He will join us again. Um, Senior IPU principal officers, I greet you all. Now, well, please, we need to welcome our German National Coordinator, Mazi Ubonne. Mazi Ubonne, please introduce yourself.
There's no sound
Eh,
again.
your sound.
He's on mute. He's on mute.
I'm like, yeah, but you understand the ad, was it? Mazi, Mazi on mute, because I'm trying to unmute him here, but it's not working. Mazi, we cannot hear you. I don't even. Oh, yeah. Okay. Okay. Let's continue. Why he will try to fix it out. And when the White Council come back, please, it will be nice for us to ask him a hard question, no? And I want us to play a kind of devil advocate. You know the propaganda out there, you know the blackmail out there. I want you to throw such question to him so he can able to carry Biafrans along or to tell us the truth, the gospel truth. Ezoku Chineke. So I will want us to ask him a question that is Biafrans are asking. on the media, and I want all of us to play devil advocate. So Ekene Mono, let me see what's happening if he's coming back. Okay, he's back. I can see him. Yeah.
Very good.
Mm.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry, it's the network. I don't have any control over this. This is what I'm
Okay.
talking about. I'm sure
Yeah.
the Afghan Republic will have a far better network than this.
Okay. Okay. The White Council. White Council before.
You can hear me?
Yes, we can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear
Perfect.
me?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay,
Clear.
okay,
We can hear you. We can hear you. So
okay.
the White Council. Before we go on, no, because um we have to we here we play devil advocate. We have one or two questions to ask you, but before then we want to extend our regard, our greetings to the MAK legal team. Anyị na-afọ aka unu. You guys are wonderful. Anyị ji aka ike nga wee na-ekene unu wee na-asụ
And
unu gbuo n'aka na iwe ọma, unu gbuo n'aka ekpe iwe ọma, ndụ ndụ nka nka. But before then, White Council, there is something I want to point out which is very, very important. I know that I said that we don't have to dive into political issue, but it's very, very important. I point this out, and I have to play an evidence for it. Please, let's listen.
Gap. And I'm speaking for every issue that concerns injustice. Now it's frustrating. In the management of the administration of criminal justice, it doesn't swing in one direction, just like many others have swung in that direction, where many people who were charged in the same way they charged Mazen Namdekalo for treasonable offenses have all themselves been at the determination of the court, and rightfully so. I'm not saying that is wrong.
Obviously, there are different circumstances.
But there's different
let's face
circumstances.
it,
But
yeah.
at the determination of the court said to let them go. So why do you continue to keep Mazen Namdekalo? And I've said it can be just the ethnic colorations or tribal colorations or religious colorations, but there are people who are satisfied in allowing him to be there to rot to death.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Omoyele Sowore, for example, I mean, he wasn't leading, although he called for revolution now and so on, but he wasn't leading a separatist movement
Iboho is leading a separatist
of
movement.
armed people who were going out and sort of attacking.
Isn't Nnamdi leading an armed group? The question is no. The question is no, Charles. Absolutely. Is he leading an armed group?
No, you mean now?
Even then and now.
Yeah, well, the government says that he was.
That's what the government says. Has the
and
government
they
been able to prove
and they
it?
link the organization.
Has the government been able to prove it, Charles?
Well, the case isn't over.
They've not been able to prove it.
They link what's his organization.
I can
to a
agree
lot
with
of
you. I can
killings
agree
and
with you,
deaths.
Charles. Let me tell you this, because just like when I
Now, I want to play a kind of evidence because we Biafrans, we appreciate our Mazi Obi Agocha, a member of House of Rep. No, you can see the journalist is trying to point out that our leader is leading a kind of armed group, and he defended Mazi and can say even now and then. Now there is a video I want to play. There is a video I want to play. I want all to listen to this video. It's really important.
We want to ask for. We want to plead on the behalf of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, for the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Remember the young man. He did not do what others have never done. Somebody like Sunday Iboho and the Miati Allah leader, even Shetima, the second in command of Tunubu, he has never done what all these people has done. And he have never done more than them. He is only looking and seeking for his freedom and also the freedom of his own people. That is what he is fighting for. And we are here today to let the world know also that Nnamdi Kanu did not give us any arms. He did not know also that Nnamdi Kanu did not give us any arms. He did not know also that Nnamdi Kanu did not give us any arms. He did not push us to carry arms. It was how the people in Nigeria, so-called zoological country.
So so we all know this man, this young man, and Nigeria government is looking for him, and we can hear what he said that Mazen Nandi Kanu did not give them any arms. So what they are doing on their own self. They are taking responsibility for what they are doing. So I believe this video will come across to Arise TV, the journalist. This guy called Gentle have answered whatever question you want to get from our Mazi Ubi Agwacha. Please, White Council, do you have anything to say on this, please?
Well, what the young man said speaks for itself. As lawyers will say, when such a thing is said, we say res ipsa loquitur, that the matter speaks for itself. I don't have to add anything or remove. As far as the interview with Mazi Honorable Obiagocha is concerned, I'm fully aware of it. I prepared him for the interview, he consulted me. He knows a lot about the case because he's somebody that has shown an uncommon dedication to seeing that justice is done and that Mazin Nandekano is released from detention immediately or as soon as possible. So on that day of the interview, or before that day, the previous day, he called me on the phone and invited me to sit with him the following day at Ibeto Hotel in the morning. So over breakfast, we discussed all of this, and I shared a lot of perspectives with him, and I gave him certain documents. So before he went for the interview later in the day, he was fully prepared and he had all his facts together. He spoke very well, as you can see. But you see, uh, there is this saying, it's universal, it's not only prevalent in Nigeria. The saying goes like this, that perception is reality. And this is what we are combating. This is what we are fighting against in the courts and in the media. There is this abiding, stubborn perception without any scintilla of evidence that Mazin Namdekano is a violent man, that he possesses the capacity to levy war and violence against the Nigerian state. That is why they went wild and charged him with offenses bordering on terrorism. That's where it's coming from. Because the federal government has this perception of this. Oh, Lord.
Oh, we have to continue, Oh, it's network, I think Mazi is back here. Let's see. Yeah, Mazi Ogbonna, ị na-anụ ihe anyị na-ekwu now? Mazi na-anụ ihe anyị na-ekwu, but anyị na-anụ ihe ọ na-ekwu. Mazi na-anụ ihe anyị na-ekwu perfect, but anyị na-anụ ihe ọ na-ekwu.
Because all the muted. All the muted.
Yeah, but I tried to unmute him here, but it's not all the this thing. Okay, Mazi Ichie is coming. Let's see. Can I check and Ichie? You know. Hello, Mazi Ichie. Can you in an email?
Say
Mazi
something. Oh, he nodded his head. We want to hear your voice.
Mazi, can you say something? Introduce yourself, Mazi Ichie, please. Mazi Ichie, can you introduce yourself? Oh, yes. The Vice Counsel is back. Yeah, I ain't even yeah. Yeah.
It has gone off my earpiece, so I'm practically going to be shouting.
Oh. Mm.
So you can hear me.
Yes, yeah.
Okay, what I was saying before I was cut off by poor internet network is that to the federal government, perception is reality, but that reality is false. Very, very false. And that is what we have been fighting in the courts, in the trenches, and in the media. And like the Honorable said, they have no scintilla of evidence. They have no proof at all, except the broadcast he made from the United Kingdom. There is no evidence in file indicating any weapons or any weapon purchase or any weapon import or any intention to make bombs or even to levy war. Everything was based on conjecture. So this is the crux of the matter. And the Honorable handled it very well. And that is why his trial remains complicated to this day. Because evidence is lacking. That is what I have to say to that. Was that
Okay.
clear enough?
Yes. The Vice Counsel, thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Thank you so much. The Vice Counsel, please, one more before IPOB senior principal officer will ask you question. They will play a devil advocate. But one more video, please. I want you to listen.
It takes a lot for a leader to realize that he has made a mistake and then immediately correct it. So I'm so happy that the president realized that that was a huge national embarrassment, if not international embarrassment, and then moved in to correct it immediately. Even while some hanger on were even trying to justify it for him. You can see why at times leaders get into this part of shame at times, because you have some supporters who are very shameless. But I thank God that he didn't listen to those hungry people I call hungry outlaws who were trying to justify something that was an international embarrassment. So I commend the president for being bold enough to, issue the necessary knowledge and the court striking it out, bringing an end to that embarrassment. And I don't want it to just end there. I think he needs to find out, because those children were starved. So what kind of barbaric and archaic and mundane method of detention? And that goes a long way to show a lot might be going wrong with those detention facilities. It's also important an investigation is conducted to find out the status of these detainees facing different charges. It's like a kind of is it a confiscation site or what? You don't feed them. Look at the way they are looking so tiny, like they are coming out from a civil war or something. So it's an embarrassment, and it goes a long way to show how our detention system have been working. So it should be seen as an opportunity to fix things and correct things. And I thank the president for being bold enough to say that what happened was not right, and then going ahead to ensure that immediately these students were released. But going, apart from that, we should also investigate the status of other detainees in different cases and challenges in those detention facilities to be sure that we are complying with international African Charter on Human Rights and our relevant constitutional provision that an accused is deemed innocent until proven guilty. So you can't use starvation to kill the person even before he's made to have his day in court. And I think I will join to this by also pleading with the president the same way he reacted and responded to the feeling of Nigerians and international community by discontinue the embarrassing trial of these minors, he should also listen to the pleas from eminent Nigerians, eminent Igbo leaders, eminent individuals in different parts of the country, lawmakers and so on and so forth, who has at one time or the other called on the president to embark on the path of political solution in the Mazi Nnamdi Kanu case by discontinuing the trial. So you can see by what the president did in the minors case, he has exercised his constitutional power through the Attorney General take under Section 174 thereabout to discontinue any criminal trial, even treason that has a murder charge at any stage of that trial. So now that you have invoked it for this case that we are charged for treason, also invoke the same Section 174 thereabout in the case of Mazi Nnamdi by discontinuing the trial. The trial has brought, so it has prolonged the return to the path of peace in the East. It has cost the East so much, it has even cost the country so much. There is so of insecurity, there is loss of life, there is killing, there is destruction going on left, right, and center with accusation and counter-accusation surrounding it. What a listening president will do is to say, okay, let's find a political solution, which is to discontinue the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, release him on bail, and then embark on the path for finding sustainable solutions to those security challenges. Remember, under Section 14, the primary responsibility of government is the protection of lives and property. So why do we have government? If government cannot protect lives and property, if government cannot listen to the people, if government cannot do things that can bring stability, then it's not government. So what I'm saying in effect is that this is a government, and they should live up to their responsibility by listening to what the people are asking for. When we had challenges in Niger Delta, when the bombing of oil pipeline, kidnapping of oil workers,
go off the screen.
So the Wise Counsel, when Maazi Ugochinyere was talking, your network is not stable. But you can't hear me. The Wise Counsel, can you hear me? Barrister, can you hear me? And I even they put now Barrister. Okay, let me take you out and you come in, okay? Let me take you out and you come in.
I can't hear you. Okay, then let me go out.
Okay.
But we can hear him.
But it's not listening to us, just like Maazi Ogbonnia own, no? Wonder.
But his voice is coming out. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Maazi Che, in an even it's like Maazi Chanapa and even it's like maybe where you are, the network had got so strong. Request mute request has been. Maazi Che, can hear me now? Maazi Che, can you hear me? In an even Okay, let's because nke Maazi Che had to go through. Let's Maazi Che, so can you go out and come in again? Because here I can see you, your own is on mute, but you cannot hear what you are saying. German National Coordinator. Can you also hear me? Oh, okay. Okay. The national coordinator, national provost, Maazi Emeka Iwagu, please, can you take it up from here and say something before the Wise Council will come in, please?
I was thank you so much. I was preparing for the question I have for him.
Okay.
Because there's a foundational question I need to ask him pertaining the process of the case from what was said before and what is happening now.
You come in, okay? Let me take it out and you come in.
Okay, let me go out.
Maz, continue.
Okay. So what I was saying is the procedure, it seems like it is still going on. And that may not be in concert with what the appeals court said or what the Supreme Court said. The question I want to ask him is, what directives did they get from the Supreme Court as to the continuation of the case, if there is any? Because from what he told us in the beginning, that there is going to be a case, a trial within a trial. That did not happen. And what happened was a saga in the court of Binko Yanka. And that moved into another thing. So we do not know exactly where it is right now. Then a follow-up to that question I want to ask him was going to be the justice recused herself and was later thrown back into the case. Where does it stand now? Is she accepted as the current judge, or are they waiting for a new judge? Did she accept the decision of the Justice Department, forcing her back into the case? So it's just a blurry of confusion. We want some clarification to this issue and some others. Thank you.
Yeah, okay, Maz. Thank you. Well, if he cannot come in, maybe let me try to see maybe if you can communicate with him through WhatsApp group, through WhatsApp, so he can respond to our question. I think that will be okay.
See if he can come back first.
Okay. Okay.
Mhm.
Uh, well, yeah. Yeah. Hello, Mazi Chie. Can you hear me now? Ichie cannot even hear us, Mazi Ichie, the regional coordinator from America, is having a problem. Also, the national coordinator from Germany, they're also having problem of mic. I don't know why. But before then, let me put on this thing, the few program from Obi.
Ma, Mazi, please. Mazi Ichiezoku, you can say something. You just we heard your voice now. Ichiezoku, say something.
Ichie say he cannot even hear us. So
It's not no longer on mode.
But is he not the one that cough? I heard him cough.
That's why I said you should say something, because I heard him too.
yeah. Ichie, Kuoku, can you say something, Ichie?
Be back here again.
Well, it's good to see you again.
Thank you, Sam. Me
So
too.
this is a small victory, isn't it? But it is certainly a victory of sorts, getting Nnamdi Kanu's lawyers, who haven't visited him since September, to gain access to him. And they issued a statement thanking you and commending you for your effort in that regard. How did you pull it off?
Well, easily. The lawyers approached me sometime in September, not just as somebody who is at the forefront of the advocacy, but also as Mazen Nnamdi Kanu's representative at the Federal House. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is from Umuahia North. I'm also from Umuahia North. We grew up together. We played soccer in Umuahia. So he's somebody well known. Both families are well known to each other. So it is my utmost responsibility as a federal House member representing him, to speak for him where no one else would speak for him. Not just for him, but for many others in that gap who may be facing one challenge or the other, especially in the administration of criminal justice as it pertains to Nigeria. So I've been speaking about him. We've started to make some headway. Previously, it was very combative between the government's approach and, of course, Mazen Nnamdi Kalu's legal team's approach. So they approached me to say, well, for over a period of time, they've not had access to him. So I wrote to the director of DSS. He responded. Rather than escalate it in the chamber of the House of Representatives, I chose to involve my speaker. And we had a tripartite meeting between myself, the speaker, and the DG SSS, and we resolved some of the issues, pending when the lawyers will come together, because the matter is still in court. The judge handling the matter was also involved in the process. But yesterday was the first time that the lawyers were given access to him at the directive of the DGSSS, whom I commend him tremendously. He has come to this position, a very difficult position, in handling a very sensitive issue. But he has come in this position also being mindful that the issue at hand is a very sensitive issue, and he's putting a human face to it.
Forgive me if I beg to differ, but I mean, this is a democratic country, and in a democracy, somebody has the right to a legal defense team.
Of course.
In whatever circumstance
Well, I
they
thought as
find
much too.
themselves
I
in.
thought as much too.
So for all this sort of thank you and so on and so forth, I don't understand. It's his legal right, isn't it?
The legal issues, like I said in my earlier statement, that are well known to both parties, it stemmed from the Mazen Nnamdi Kalu's legal team requesting for a recusal of the judge. So the judge, recall, recused herself. So the position of the DSS, or the position of the government, now became, well, since the judge has recused
it's okay. Let me just
herself from the
let me
matter,
just stay.
there are no
I'm
longer
not listening back to you guys.
issues of consultation between the lawyers
Oh no, I'm
and
It's
Mazen
okay.
Nnamdi Kalu.
Well, that's perverse.
However, even
It's
some of the
weird.
applications that were made
That
in
man
court
is,
were withdrawn,
is
because the same
coming
question would have been asked.
Yeah.
Well, if the same judge has
The person
recused
you spoke on
himself,
phone now is
and
coming out here.
all the decisions of the judge,
I don't know why.
as the government had claimed, was a nullity, then the same judge was the one that gave the detention order for Mazen Nnamdi Kalu. So that ought to have rendered that also as
Null
a
and
nullity.
void.
Null and void.
But even beyond that, I mean, it doesn't matter what the circumstances are. It is his
the fundamental right.
It is his legal right,
Yes.
to ask for a judge to be recused if he feels that he's not getting
fair
the right
trials.
treatment. That does not preclude. It's got nothing to do with his right to have access to his lawyers.
I perfectly agree with you. That was the position we took. That was the position even in the meeting between myself, the speaker, and the DGSS. I took that position. Mr. Speaker concurred with that position. Even the DG concurred. Now, why I was saying thank you, the DG could have easily come to that meeting and feign ignorance of the law and say, no, well, let's status quo remain. Let's keep, going at each other. They will release one press statement. The Counsel lawyers will release one press statement. But he recognizes the position of the law and set aside the office of DSS, who could have come in as a cowboy. But he now said, no, I want things to be done properly. He gave the room to allow myself, the speaker, the lawyers of Mazen Nnamdi Kalu to be engaged in this, in finding a solution that will enable both sides at least to begin to talk and have access to Mazen Nnamdi Kalu. It's not just that. There were issues as well concerning the health of Mazen Nnamdi Kalu. It was rumored that he was dead. It was rumored that he was ill. Which I also asked the DG for the first time.
My mother-in-law
They've never had it before. Allowed Mazen Nnamdi Kanu to choose a doctor of his own choice, and at the same time allowed him to also to choose a medical facility beyond the government medical facilities for his treatment. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has exercised that privilege, and will continue as well to.
So he's
enjoy
now
that
gone
privilege.
to the hospital.
Oh yeah, he's gone. He's the last time he went was, I think, October the 3rd.
Right.
And he confirmed it to me because part of my effort was also to see him, to discuss with him, to know his thought process as to everything that is going around, and also to brief him and to make him understand the circumstances around. And then he assured me that he's comfortable with the doctor that he chose. He's comfortable with the medical facility that he chose as well to go to. So on issues of access and issues of management of his health, I can say that this current DG of SSS has been very cordial, has been very respectful.
Much more so than the past. Right.
Much more than in the past. That was why I said he has shown a human face.
But in the larger scheme of things, how much does it move the needle forward in terms of getting Mr. Kanu closer to...
Yeah, hello, Vice Counsel.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I na even.
Okay.
Yeah, I na even. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, welcome back. We must continue. We must move. Hashtag we move. We must move. They cannot stop the program, no matter what. So, Mazi, before you started having problem with your network, I played a video of Ugo Chinyere. Ikenga, yeah. So, what do you have to say about it?
Well, I've seen the video. I think I tweeted that video.
Yeah.
And I recall that I had tweeted several of his videos in the past.
Yeah.
That he had said similar things. I can tell you that apart from Honorable Obiagocha, Honorable Ikenga Ugochinyere is another of the political leaders from our people, from amongst Igbos, that have been very proactive in seeking a just solution to this matter. I recall very vividly that when I was in the trenches in Omaha, fighting to get justice done over the infamous fighting dance, he used to escort me to court. If you go back into a lot of videos in social media, I'm sure one of you might have noticed in those videos that he was always with me each day that the matter was in court. And also at the Federal High Court, he was with me. And he has demonstrated an uncommon consistency and commitment to the cause of justice for Ndị Igbo in general and in particular to Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, or for Mazen Nnamdi Kanu. If you look at all these things, if you look at what he's saying and what Honorable Obiagocha is saying, they are both saying that the matter of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has transformed from the legal to the political. That it's no longer a matter that is amenable to legal or judicial resolution. That it is now a matter that is within the exclusive province of political solution. And a political solution over matters like this is not strange in Nigeria. So the recurring decimal, the recurring question begging for an answer is why political solution has become a scarce commodity when it comes to Ndi Igbo or when it comes to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the federal government is too quick, too willing to invoke the alternative path or political solution to resolving some national problems when it comes to other people. It's a question begging for an answer, and it's the reason, number one reason, a lot of people, not just Igbos, even Shore himself, in two appearances he made with Arise TV, he raised the specter. He raised this possibility of Nigeria having an Igbo problem. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention and he was even renditioned just because he was an Igbo man. So this has become a constant feature and it is something we are dealing with here. But for me as a lawyer, I am committed to fighting in the courts. His being Igbo might be a tonic for me, but above and beyond that, my professional commitment is to deploy every legal avenue, every avenue under the laws of the Federation of Nigeria to ensure that justice is done to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu as soon as possible. Thank you.
Yeah. So, Mazi, welcome, the White Council. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Please, those of you that are watching us, please hit the like button and share the program. We have a lot of people that are watching us from YouTube. A lot of people are watching from YouTube. Please share the program. It's very important. Now, the White Council. I actually Otimbodombo. We are going to play a devil advocate, and a lot of questions that people are asking on media. We will ask you that question. Those that you want to respond, please endeavor to respond. Now, I have two questions, the White Council. One, I asked this question to European Lab, Isaiah Yoruba, and I didn't got answer from it. The question is that I asked him that Chika Paul Edoziem, aka Enemy at the Gate, Chinasa Wankita, these men are saying that we should all stand on our P court judgment. And today we have you, the big elephant in the house, the jelly. If we have stand, or if you have decided, you are the lead counsel now, that you decided to stand on that appeal court judgment, and our leader Maznagara decided to stand on that appeal court judgment, what will be our leader's fate today? Second one, we heard from these people, Chinas and Wankita and Chika Paul Idoziem, saying that you blackmail other lawyers to take over. Now, my question is that White Council, why do you blackmail these men to take over this job from them? Please
Okay,
go on.
well, let me take your first question.
Yeah,
If I understand you clearly, you are asking me to comment on the comments on social media
yeah.
from certain quarters indicating that they stand on the Court of Appeal judgment, right?
Yes, yes, yes.
Well, I don't know whether it's being done out of ignorance or whether it is being done out of propaganda, as a tool of propaganda. But either way, it's not working for us. It's not in our favor for someone to say on Court of Appeal judgment we stand. Because the people we are dealing with, the international community, the civil society organizations, and all men and goodwill around the world and in Nigeria, they know that the Court of Appeal is not the apex court of the land. It's not the highest court in Nigeria. The highest court in Nigeria is the Supreme Court, of Nigeria, and the Supreme Court of Nigeria vacated that favorable judgment of the Court of Appeal. It broke my heart, but there was nothing I could do about it because I was pivotal to that Court of Appeal judgment. It was the theory of defense that I pioneered, the extraordinary rendition that won the day at the Court of Appeal. So for me, it was a victory that was very personal to me, that made me very happy and accomplished. That what I had said in the media and the briefs that I had submitted in court won the day at the Court of Appeal. So you can imagine how I felt when the next court, the highest court of the land, vacated or reversed that judgment and rendered it useless. So when someone says on the judgment of the Court of Appeal we stand, it's not helpful at all. Actually, it's very, very unhelpful because people will be wondering, our friends and well-wishers, and people who wish to help us, they'll be wondering, what are these people talking about? They are standing on a judgment that has been vacated, a judgment that does not exist anymore, or what? So it's not in our favor at all, and people should stop talking about that. I assume that most people that are saying that because they are not very familiar with the hierarchy of the courts. That if the Court of Appeal delivers judgment and the Supreme Court says otherwise, that judgment is no longer valid. So that is my comment on that. And the next question is what? Can you remind me?
Yeah, the next question that we have been hearing from Chinas and Wankita, hearing from Jonathan Chinedu, and other
Oh,
ones.
how I came to be the lead counsel.
Yeah, that you blackmail others, no, to take the
Okay,
lead counsel. Yeah.
okay. Well, Ike, first of all, number one, I am an Igbo man. Number two, I'm a qualified attorney and counselor at law, trained in the United States and qualified in Nigeria as well. I have the right to accept brief and instructions and cases from any client that meets my standard. I have known Mazen Nandekano since early September. I think I met him on 7th September 2017. And we hit it off right away. He was happy to meet me because before then I had published so many articles and opinions in newspapers that were in sync with his program for the restoration of Biafra. So he saw me as an upstanding Igbo man, and he did a background check on me, and he felt I am someone he can work with on legal issues and issues very germane to the struggle. So that's how we hit it off, and he gave me a lot of briefs, and he was the one who went on Radio Biafra after he survived Pantin Dance. He was the one who went on Radio Biafra and called me a special counsel. I am never the one that gave myself that title. He was the one that called me a special counsel. It never occurred to me that I was special in any way. I think he said it because he felt satisfied with the services I had rendered up to that moment as a lawyer and as an upstanding Biafran and Igbo man. So he was satisfied. He demonstrated his satisfaction and strong approval. So I have won a lot of cases for the IPOB and for Mazin Nnamdi Kanu and for Igbo as well that the public may not be aware of. The ones that I think the public is aware of are probably just 4 or 5 that I had mentioned before. So I don't think anybody who encounters me and who has a legal problem would have any hesitation in hiring me to render my services. I have a record, a public record of victories and dedication to the cause of my client. So being a member of the outer flanks of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu's legal team since September 2017, it was in my place to be considered by him for any role that he wants me to play, whether he wanted to downgrade my role or whether he wanted to increase my role. It is up to him. It is within his exclusive authority and prerogative as a human being. So anybody who is questioning my elevation by Mazin Nnamdi Kanu to lead his legal team in defense of the criminal charges against him is also questioning the intelligence of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, not my intelligence. The person is questioning the very essence of Mazin Nnamdi Kanu. That person is also saying indirectly that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu should not have the free will to choose his lawyers. And that is arrant nonsense. He has a free will, just like every other person. I'm sorry, the light is gone, but I think it should be back in a few seconds. So I am very confident that Mazin Nnamdi Kanu took his decisions based on what he considers to be in his best interest. So I'm here to say that it is inappropriate to question his decision when he changes lawyers or does one thing or the other. He has been doing so since 2015 when he came into contact with the Criminal Justice Administration in Nigeria. His first lawyer was one Obeta. The second one was Tony Moma, I think. I think there was one Ugwonye who had represented him as well before he came to his previous lawyers, and then from there to me. Tomorrow I may not be there, and I'm not supposed to be bitter and going around all over the place complaining or hiring people to be attacking any lawyers that replaces me. Being a legal counsel to IPOB or being a legal counsel to Mazin Nnamdi Kanu is not a political appointment. It's not an elective office. It's a professional retainership to render your professional services. If your services are no longer required and your client terminates your services, you go home happy and satisfied that you have served, that he even gave you the opportunity to render those services, and you thank him and remain forever grateful and move on with your life. So this idea that he cannot hire and fire his lawyers is very perplexing and very confusing to reasonable minds. Him, Mazin Nnamdi Kanu, just like any one of you here and anyone else, has the sole right to hire and fire any lawyer. It's not a political appointment. And anybody that complains that he's fired is not doing so in good faith. And such a thing really should be ignored, which is what I have done. And I don't want to pay too much attention to it to the point that it may begin to complement my line of work. But to say that I was surprised and shocked that some people will engage in that type of conduct is to say the truth. So they can carry on. I'm carrying on with my duties, and I may not be here today to be representing Mazin Namdekano and IPOB. But one thing that I can assure you of is that Mazin Namdekano and IPOB and Biafrans and Umunnemdi Bonile will forever remain evergreen in my heart. Thank you.
Yeah. Ndewo Mazi. Ndewo Mazi. Ndewo Mazi. Because the reason why we brought this question to you is question those people, all those the chat card media worms, the propaganda, they are carrying around. So that's why I said we are going to play a devil advocate to ask you those questions. And I thank God you are just being open and explain everything. As Mde Wise Counsel. I wanted to call you special counsel. Mazes Mezunwe Quinsu. I call you wise counsel. Because in aga, actually boys, you know na branches here. You go to the tap room. Just the same the kind of work you done at Enugu, and some people go out and be let me hold it there first. The provost national, Mazi Emeka Igwawu, please, your question to the White Council, please.
Mazindewo,
Ndewo, my brother.
I welcome you, sir.
Thank you.
Um, I have a question that has been bothering me for a
Sure.
while. I remember um, when this case started around or when our leader was renditioned back to Nigeria, you made a statement that if this trial will proceed, it's going to be a trial within a trial.
Yes.
And they proceeded with the trial. I followed it. It was nothing but a useless facade. And it ended up the way it did. Went through the appeals court to Supreme Court. And the Supreme Court agreed with you that they did a sloppy job to rendition him from Kenya. And they did also a sloppy job taking away his bail. And they also accepted that he did not jump bail. However, they did not follow up on these affirmations. Rather, they told him to go back to the court of origination and answer some questions. My question remains, what directives did the Supreme Court give to the defense as to what actually they meant when he goes back to court of origination? Because if,
Directive.
yes, sir, or instructions given to the court. So my question
Your,
is,
your location is cracking and hanging.
okay, my question is this. Can you hear me?
Yes, go on, Mazi, go on.
Okay, my question is this. Did the Supreme Court give instructions
Cracking.
to the, oh, let me see what, I don't know what else I would do.
But you can.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Maybe from his side, you're coming
From,
out clear.
from the White
Okay.
Council side,
Okay.
your side is perfect. You
Okay.
know, yeah,
So let
your,
me let me just finish my question.
yeah.
Maybe he can go to the areas he had. My basic question is, did the Supreme Court give instructions to the court of origin as to what areas that need explanation in the case of Mazen Namdekano?
He's no longer here. Maybe network.
Okay, so maybe I believe when he come back, he have to respond to your question, Maz. But before then,
Okay.
the wonderful people of Biafrans, I welcome you all to this wonderful edition. You know, yeah, he's back. The West Council is back.
Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
He can give it a shot and tell us where he did not hear.
Um, um, I think he went out again. The network, the Zoo network.
Yeah.
No? But let's continue. We move. So please, we are listening to the sound of our voice on Facebook. Share the program. Then on YouTube, we see number of people on YouTube. I think we have how many people on YouTube? We have 62 people on YouTube that are looking at us. Then on Facebook, we have only 2 people. I know thousands are watching this program, but you know what? We don't care whether they present us zero number. And those in YouTube, if we still have time, then you want to ask the White Council question, where I can put the link. You come in. Maazị Ezumezu Nwekwe, so I don't put on phone number. You come in. I feel anya. When you come in, your camera must be open. That way we will still have time. But if you don't have time, maybe next time, because we still have a lot of questions that senior comrades want to ask the White Council, and we are waiting. So I think we can continue. We can continue from where Obiagocha stopped. Then let's wait for our Vice Council.
As well as I thought we have somebody in our midst.
Yeah, Kele. Okay. German National Coordinator. Mazi, can you hear me?
No, Italian.
Mba na ono ozi follow me now. Go.
Italian
Network.
national coordinators here.
No, ono there.
I saw him. He's here.
Mba na ono there go. I'm na no.
Ah,
No. Eziokwu. No.
But I'm seeing all of you.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, eziokwu, no. Um, please, Mazi, introduce yourself to Biafrans, please.
Okay. So first and foremost, sorry for coming late. Ndewo no Chineke. Good evening, everyone.
Yeah,
And
there
good
we go.
evening, our special counsel to our leader, Onyendu. My name is Mazi Romanus Obi Kamado Ogro. I reside here in Italy, and I serve IPOB in the capacity of National Coordinator of Italy under the leadership of Mazenam Decano. I say all of you, may God guide all of you and give you wisdom to continue to this struggle. Of course, I came late, but I took excuse from that. Thank you very much. I'll be listening. Thank you, viewers and listeners.
Yeah.
Ndewo no much.
There we go. Mazi, you are welcome. You are welcome. Um,
Ndewo.
uh, yeah, National Coordinator Germany. Can you hear me? Mazi, na niwa na-ekwu? We can, okay. we can't hear Mazi. I don't know this thing. So let's continue with
This Miss
yeah.
Biko, more time question for um, our attorney
Okay,
when he
okay,
comes in. Yeah,
okay.
thank you.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Stakeholders who have found this to be an issue of injustice, who has also found this to appear like the last time I was there, I said it would appear that there are two sets of rules in Nigeria, one for every other Nigerian and another one for the Igbo man. Where every other Nigerian will scale certain circumstances, the Igbo man will find it very difficult to scale. But that what we thought would have been more meaningful is the invocation of sections 174 of the Nigerian Constitution that allows the Attorney General, before the determination or a judgment of the court, that he can write to withdraw the matter. There are precedents that have already been set on this. So we are just asking, well, the way they have done for Igbo, the way they have done for Sowore and many others, that Nnamdi Kanu is entitled to those fundamental rights as a citizen.
Well, you mentioned Section 174 of the Nigerian Constitution. I recall that in June, you made a direct appeal to President Tinubu, along with dozens of your colleagues at the National Assembly, urging him to order the Attorney General to discontinue the case based on that Section 174, which gives him the power to end the trial in the public interest and in the interest of justice. Did you ever hear back from the President or the Attorney General?
Like I said, we've met with the Attorney General. I've met with him several times. I've met with his Chief of Staff of Mr. President and many other government functionaries. The only person I have not met one-on-one now is Mr. President. And for obvious reasons, he has to be satisfied with the legal position and also satisfied with the security positions. So I wish to talk so much, but so much has been happening now. The confidentiality of that is also what I said as a government officer.
You can't reveal.
That I can't reveal, I can't, but I am very optimistic that after all said and done, recently my governor, my amiable governor, Dr. Alex Oti, also talked about it, having met Mr. President, and some assurances that were given to my governor by Mr. President. Those assurances that have been given to my governor remain consistent with the assurances also that I have been given and the things that I have worked with certain circle that have been put up for this. And I'm very optimistic that within no short distance time, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will be released from detention. Whether he's going to be released by the invocation of Section 174, or whether he's going to be granted bail, the Supreme Court, after all, said that the lower court ought not to have revoked his bail, considering the circumstances that he faced before he absconded. Meaning the military came to his home, ransacked his home, and he escaped. Possibly, if he was there, he would have been shot dead, just like many others. The Supreme Court held that under the circumstances, his actions of running away was justifiable. That's what the Supreme Court said. So that since they have already said that he cannot be denied bail, it is also our desire that if bail can be granted to him, I am willing, able to countersign that bail so that he can have the ability to leave detention, at least to be able to take care of himself, see his family, and undertake other activities that such a person should.
And in terms of the case against him, the last we heard, he was facing 7 counts of terrorism.
Mazi Ephraim, please, Can you comment so far about what Mazi Honorable Biocha just said?
Thank you
Hello,
very
Maz.
thank you.
Yeah. Mm.
So we all have seen it. Our leader has nothing to be afraid of, and he has nothing to answer in the court. So Nigeria is just trying to buy time and all that. That's what they're trying to do, just to delay him there. Because what Honorable has been saying is clear. The same thing they did to Igbowo, Showore, and the rest of the others. They can't give it to him because he's this particular person. He's from this particular tribe. So Honorable, what he's saying is correct. It's very, very correct. So we all know that Onyendo has no case. When they shifted from this court to the other, the appeal court to Supreme Court and all that, they know what they are doing. So the problem is not about holding a lion, because when you release that lion, you don't know what's going to happen. So that's what they're afraid of, because they know who he is. They know him very well. So even though we are still hoping that everything will go on well and it will be released to us very soon, because the people here have been in charge of everything with our lawyer, our barrister, who's been doing a very wonderful job with his team. They are doing very, very wonderfully. Try that the whole thing has been going on very well. Everything, right from the day they took up the case, everything changed. We see Honorable coming out to say something about it, going from here to there to see for his own release. Thanks to our barrister, Aloy Ejimakor, and his team. So we still have some questions to ask him, and the Zone network doesn't want us to go further. I can see it because the way the network is doing right now, and because he also confirmed it before the program started that he is not that sure of how the network will treat him. So Biafran should bear with us because maybe we'll still be back and then we throw more questions to him and then we'll still thank him because he has been doing wonderfully well with his team. As for me, thank you very much.
Yeah. Ndewo Maz, you are welcome. Ndewo Maz. The Wise Counsel, Barrister Ejimakor, is coming back. Maybe in 2 minutes he will be back. He will be back. He will back here. Um, Mazi Obiekeze, please. Can you comment so far about what Honorable just said?
Thank you, Majes Maize. Many of our politicians know what Mazin Nandekan is fighting, and they know that he commit no crime known to Nigerian law. What is going on is that they want to make it know the mind of our politician from the southeast, where they stand in this case. And Ago Chandu Gochinyere is showing concern. Others maybe have soiled their hand one way or the other. That is why they can't come out and say something. Because some of them are betrayal. Any person that come out clear in our Mazin Nandekan case, you know that that person is transparent and know what our people are going through. Hence, you are out in social media and to say something about Igbo, about Biafra, about IPOP. Government will come after you. But hence her hand is clear because they say clear conscience, fear no accusation. That's why you can see this Agoncha and Ugochinyere coming clear to say something about Mazin Nandekan. Others are hiding, maybe they defending their master who made them what it, what it is today. You know, if you cannot serve Fulani, they can't give you any help you to take any political position in our land. So I recommend him. But one thing you should know that Nigerian government is dragging this thing to another side. They know that Mazinan cannot say it, and even their Supreme Court said it. That no court in Nigeria can try him based on the rendition, extraordinary rendition they did to him. That is where the whole case lies, and that is where that's what hold Nigeria government on at the neck. They are looking for soft landing. That is why they are connecting all these our Igbo politicians to know what they want to say, and also working on the ground to destabilize the structure Onion to put. You can see those they call the HOD, all those people. You know, politicians have entered into them. Nigerian government have entered into them and destroyed them. That's why they can't come out now and say something. What are they going to say when you disobey a leader? When your leader send a message to you, you ignore it. It means that he's no longer a leader. And some of them are saying when our wise counsel, who is doing perfectly well, when he's retired, he will go by the side so that the enemy will enter and destroy the remaining. And we say no to that. We have a lot of questions to ask our legal our leading counsel. I hope that his network will accept him to enter in again so that we can be able to ask a lot of questions. Ndewo, Mazume.
Yeah, ndewo mazi. You know, it reminds me what Chinas and Wanketa said that they are waiting. They are waiting at the gate. Then when the legal team get tired, they will have to take over. And we say to them, they have to wait there to the entirety. They have to wait there till the onion is out. Open at that gate, na I am a year, I shift out of how but I can't was. I ji open na that gate. Etinye isi enwa tinye isi I copy ya. You know? So the national coordinator Italy, please, what do you have to comment on this program from Mazi Obi Agocha?
Yeah, ndewo no mu Chineke.
Ndewo.
I welcome everyone here. I think two people comment on this issue have said it all. No need of us go running around because
Mm.
what is happening in this issue of Onyendu is totally no-go area. They know that for sure. What Agocha saying here, just like what our National Treasurer Mazeke just said, they all know what our leader stands for, and our leader is not ready to change. So I'm here to tell our political elites, as they call themselves, but I myself calling them political fools because they don't know what they want for our land. That's why all of them are messing around. I'm not here to make it sweet to them because Onyendu have been shouting this from day one that nothing you will gain in Nigeria. Once you serve Nigeria, you must come back in shame. And check all of them from local government to their federal level. If you bring yourself out, maybe you to be a hardcore one Nigeria, one thing or the other, you must go down. So our Agocha, I think, let us hold his word for now, but let us not forget our politicians are chameleon. It doesn't matter. Just like what Showore is saying, that there is memo. Of course, you don't need to tell us that there is a secret memo about you Igbos. We know that. Unless if you are a fool, you don't you claim that there's nothing like that. Nigeria didn't recognize Biafrans, Igbo raised in Nigeria. Take it to the bank, eat away cash. It doesn't matter how hard you pretend to be a one Nigeria. So our leader, Ekwechirigo, it happened in 2015. They did what they did in order to combo, but he refused them. They went ahead and doing what they're doing. Onyendu told them that I will destroy Nigeria beyond repair with the truth and honesty, not with arm, with truth and honesty. And that is exactly what he has done. And there's nothing, Nigeria can never recover for this very particular.
Hello, Mazi. I think it's network. Yeah. So we must continue. Mazi Iwabu. Do you have anything to comment on based on what Obi Agwacha said?
Mazi,
Yeah.
from the video you showed, it beats my imagination to see Nigeria arresting children and somebody who claims to be an attorney appear before the world certifying those children as adults, claiming that some of them are university graduates and some of them are married.
Uh, yeah. Yeah. Okay. Continue. Okay. Mazi, biko egbo ni go finish it up. Oh yeah. Continue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Onyendu said this is what he wants. And the three things are involved here: restructuring, referendum, or referendum, restructuring, or total restoration of Biafra. But they failed all of them. And where we are now, let them release Onyendu and do what he requested from them. There's nothing anybody can do about it. Of course, our politicians like Agocha and Ugochinyere, they are talking, but I continue reminding ourselves here, let us not be carried away. We can hold them, we can listen to what they are saying until they put everything in action. Because everybody don't want to, they don't want to. There are people that our people said somebody want to eat fish, but he don't want to his or her hand to touch water. Everybody is going with care, and the stage we are in now is not what we are going to panicking or waiting for somebody to come and help us. We must hold the bull by the horn. So what Agocha is saying, we are listening and we are following his footsteps until he do what they are saying. But myself saying, let us keep on watching this our politicians. Our Nigeria, Fulani are not our problem. Oh. Yorubas are not our problem. Our problem is our politicians. These are political fools. They are our problem. And if they did not retreat their steps and do the needful now, when that rain will come, it will consume everybody, both home and abroad. It doesn't matter. To let them release Mazinam Dekana, it is now good for them to release him with immediate effect. Let them stop playing hanky-panky. It will not help them for anything. So that's where my case landed. Let them do the needful now. Onyendo has no case to answer.
Yeah. Ndewo Mazi. Ndewo Mazi. Ndewo Mazi. Ndewo. Please, National, continue, please.
Thank you so much. My question is this: that Nigeria has integrated to the level of arresting children and qualifying them as adults to stand trial where there's no crime. That these children appear in demonstration is like children running around and seeing a crowd and joining the crowd. What was the intention of these children running around? They never asked that question. And again, these people who call themselves members of the government could not contain themselves. They even went to the level of losing control of their bladder when they saw people demonstrating with the Russian flag. Nobody asked them question, why are you afraid of that flag? What does that flag denote to you? The same Nigeria turned around and joined BRICS. Have they explained to Nigerians what it means to be a member of BRICS? This is a country that beat about the bush over nothing and can never explain anything. Membership to the BRICS organization, what does it mean for Nigerians? And they are afraid of Russian flag. I hope somebody can explain that to me. Thank you, Mazi.
Ndewo. Ndewo Mazi. Ndewo. Okay. Ndewo. Let's continue. Listen to
which he denies, as well as belonging to a prescribed organization, which is Ipob. Is that still the case against him?
Yeah, those are the current charges. They have not added more charges.
Because you never know these things.
You never know these things. These things are very dynamic.
They change, yeah.
But however, the question we ought to be able to ask is, Nnamdi Kanu legally in Nigeria? The answer is no. The rendition that brought him to Nigeria was said, but it was illegal. That's what the Supreme Court said. It was illegal. Charles, the measure, they can try all they want to do, but they cannot try to convict Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, because if you convict him based on that, then the position of the Supreme Court will be much more federal in terms of the Supreme Court has said, well, you shouldn't have brought him here in the first instance. There are legal processes that ought to have happened between the Nigerian state and Kenya for Nigeria to seek extradition of Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, rather than going over there, forcefully kidnapping him and bringing him back to Nigeria. But I think since there's a precedent, that the most important thing that the Nigerian state ought to be able to do now is to seek a political solution that will end this nightmare for everybody,
And
end this frustration for Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, bring about peace and stability in the Southeast, and peace and stability in Nigeria at all.
I was going to say you took the words right out of my mouth, because I was going to say that your consistent argument, which you have made
Can you hear me?
stridently, and which you made in that letter that you wrote to President Tinubu,
Yes,
is that
yes.
you are fairly certain that Nnamdi Kanu's freedom will not only calm the fraught security situation in the southeast and indeed elsewhere in the country, but will lead to an economic renaissance,
Of course.
which will boost the image of President Tinubu in the southeast and
Absolutely.
beyond amongst a sizable
Absolutely.
proportion
Not just
of
the
Nigerians.
image of President Tinubu, also boost the image of the Southeast.
Yeah, yeah,
Can you hear me? Hello.
yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, it's back on this.
Yeah, we can
Can
hear
you
you.
hear me?
Yes,
can
we
hear
can
you.
hear you. Yes.
Okay, I wanted to take the question that Emeka was asking me.
Okay. Mazi Emeka, please can you
Right?
continue?
Okay.
He was
What I'm going to do is I'm going to paraphrase it, make it very short and simple. There are two questions there. One is, what directives or instructions did the Supreme Court give to the lower court to continue the trial? Two, would the lower court successfully carry out this trial with the rendition that is benefiting from the crime they committed? That's it.
well, Emeka. Thank you for your question. It's very germane. You spoke like a lawyer. Maybe you're one, or maybe you are just someone who has this small lawyer inside him that is waiting to come out. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hear you.
yes.
Okay, let me take the second question first. When at the beginning, when Nnamdi Kanu was surrendered to Nigeria, the entire Nigerian media and in fact the entire country was chorusing, saying collectively that Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has been extradited. So I stepped forward after I visited him on 7 July 2021. I was the first counsel to visit him. There was another younger lawyer actually that visited him around the same time from the office of his former.
I think we have a problem again. The network.
The
Zoo
network.
network.
Yeah.
Zoo network. Oh. Well, we must continue. We must continue.
Are you hearing me?
Yes, yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Can you hear me now?
yes.
I'm so sorry. Yeah, the network here is very poor, so that was why I said let me speak quickly.
Okay.
Anyway, the BBC invited me to an interview. BBC invited me to an interview because they had noticed what I had said on my Twitter handle. So In that interview, I expanded on that theory of extraordinary rendition, and I said that it has created a permanent prosecutorial barrier to the authority of the Federal Republic of Nigeria to successfully bring Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to trial. And I also said that if they try to try him, it's going to be trial within trial. What I meant by that was not the trial within trial that you see in the Evidence Act of many Commonwealth countries, but trial within trial, because the trial of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu can never be successful without the federal government explaining to the courts how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was brought to the country. My position was that the extraordinary rendition has destroyed every prospect for his trial, and I was happy that in the course of time, the Court of Appeal agreed with me. Even though the Supreme Court disagreed on questionable legal theory that national security is superior to the fair consequences of extraordinary rendition, even though they had also, the justice of the Supreme Court had also condemned the extraordinary rendition. They did not believe that it was enough to stop his trial. But be that as it may, when the matter was remitted back to the High Court, I raised, me and my team, the legal team, we raised very strong preliminary objection uh, against the jurisdiction of the High Court to try him. I call it the mother of all preliminary objections because we canvassed 7 grounds of objection. One of them, of course, is no longer the extraordinary rendition because the Supreme Court had ruled on that one and rendered it moot and functus official. But we did dredge up 7 strong grounds of preliminary objection that constitute a barrier to the jurisdiction of the High Court to try. Some of them are based on Nigeria's treaty obligation. Some are based on the defect that we found in the charges which Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is facing. For example, the strongest allegation they have against Mazi Nnamdi Kanu that he made broadcasts. The charges of incitement of terrorism that they leveled against him are all based on broadcasts that they allege he made. But they did not indicate on the face of the charging document the location or the locale from which he made such broadcasts. Under the black letters of the Nigerian law, the Terrorism Prevention and Amendment Act, and the one that succeeded it called the Prevention, Prohibition and Prevention Act, which was enacted in May or July of 2022. You cannot try someone for terrorism in Nigeria, even though the act gave Nigerian Federal High Court extraterritorial jurisdiction over acts of terrorism or incitement of terrorism, meaning that any act of terrorism or incitement of terrorism committed outside the territorial boundaries of Nigeria are triable by the Federal High Court of Nigeria. But guess what? Those acts require you to specify the particular country where the act of terrorism was committed. Now, on the face of the charging document, they allege that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu did make broadcasts inciting terrorism, but they never indicated the location, the locale from which he made those broadcasts. I'm probably making this public for the first time. And one of the reasons upon which we predicated our strong objections to the decision of the court. Because this very rule or this very provision of the law in Nigeria is called the rule of double criminality. What it means is simple, that the act of terrorism which you are alleging that the person, the defendant committed from a foreign soil must also be a crime in that foreign soil before it is regarded as a crime or an offense in Nigeria. This is black letter Nigerian law, not foreign law, because people here are too quick to say, or people who love to criticize me, they are too quick to say that Barrister Ejimakor is always proposing international law. It's not true. Some of our laws here have international flavor, and this is one of them. So, my thesis and my objection is this. If you do not indicate in the charging document where the broadcast was made, then that charging document is defective. And the law says a charging document that is defective cannot sustain a trial. But do you know why they do not want to indicate where the broadcast was made? Very simple and obvious. They figure that he made such broadcasts from the UK, from London. Now, under British law, making the sort of broadcasts that Mazen Nnamdi was typically making is not regarded as a crime. Not to talk of even being regarded as an incitement of terrorism. So even though in their initial or former charging documents they had indicated that he made those broadcasts from London, UK, they quickly amended their charges. After I had consulted with Mazen Nnamdi and we carried discussions relating to how to defend him, and I was whispering to him that making the broadcast in London, United Kingdom would defeat those charges because UK does not regard the type of broadcast you made as an offense, not even to talk of the very serious matter of being offenses of acts of terrorism or incitement of terrorism. Like everybody knows by now, the place of detention or locale of detention of Mazen Nnamdi is riddled listening devices. So evidently they captured that very legal consultation he made with me, the legal team, and they quickly went to court and amended the charges and removed the wordings that indicated that the broadcasts were made in the UK. But by removing the wordings, they got caught up with the limitations or requirements of the terrorism laws of the Federation of Nigeria that requires you to mention the locale of the offense so that it can be determined whether it's a crime in that place or not. So it became a matter of the amendment being a sword and a shield against them. So it boomeranged and now posed or made possible the argument which we canvassed in court that removing the locale of the commission of the offense or alleged commission of the offense has destroyed the jurisdiction of the Federal High Court to try the offense. This is but one of the 6 objections we raised to the jurisdiction of the High Court. And my brother Emeka, this is one of the reasons I kept saying that it's going to be trial within trial. So as we speak, despite the ruling of the Supreme Court that set aside the discharge or the ruling of the Court of Appeal and sent back the case back to the Federal High Court to try the case, I am still imbued with the mentality and the attitude that the trial within trial continues. It's going to be Scotch egg. There are a lot of things the Federal Republic of Nigeria have to surmount, have to cross. They have to cross a lot of bridges. Ha ga-aga igwe gaa Chukwu cross obodo ndị mmụọ before ha try our Hamadike in the High Court of Nigeria. Because I rule, man. So my brothers and my friends, that is what
Oh, Zoo Network. It will never be well with you, Zoo Network. But we must continue.
So, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, we can hear you.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Yes, yes, yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. Go on, Mazi.
Can you hear
Go
me?
on.
Yeah, we
Yes,
can
go
hear
on.
you
Yes,
loud
yes, go
and
on.
clear.
Hello?
Go on, go on,
I can hear you. It's cracking.
go on,
Hello?
go on. We
Yeah,
are hearing you.
go on. Oh, you know, both Zoo Network, both people that are reporting the page, a lot, but we must continue. You know, we must continue. You know, because Mazi Cosmos Dulu have a question to ask him too, and I also know that Mazi Okizesi have a question to ask.
Yes.
So, mm,
You know, when we are exposing the devil, they don't like to.
yeah,
They always at work, so that is why they don't want him to say what he's going to say. But we are here. We're
yeah.
not going anywhere.
Let's find one message from our leader. Kaiti Wotimbolombo. One message from our leader. To pray. I will that now.
To understand this very evening, we are facing a very formidable array of enemies, both external and within. And we are going to overcome each and every one of these obstacles. That I can assure you. That they may know that the God we worship is an invisible God, not a God that was wrought by the hands of men. For we do not worship idol, and we can never ever worship idol. Is impossible. This very family, this IPOB belongs to the Most High.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes, we can hear you, Mazi.
Can
Yes.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, I'll be speaking without ear.
Oh. Oh. Yeah. Let's continue with our leader.
And that is how it's going to be until Biafra comes and beyond to eternity. This evening, I want to place it on record that our enemies are intensifying their attack against us from every corner. I am not saying this as lamentation or complaint. I am only trying to prepare our people for what is to come. You are being prepared for what is to come. The time has come to separate the chaff from the wheat itself. Our march is very, very near.
Yeah.
He's back.
Hello, White Counsel.
Yeah, he's back.
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. Yeah. Oh, Mazi, this network. So I think we can beginning to wind down.
The enemies are trembling, they are quaking, they are doing all they can to try to stop us. But they have failed very woefully, and they will continue to fail. But I want to tell you that we are getting attacks from everywhere all over the world. And very soon, they will buy over some of you. They will buy some of you over. The spirit of Obab, Yasika, and Ifajuna are still in some of you. When the time comes, they will buy you over. I am not doing this program tonight to ask all of you to be strong. I am doing it to remind you, not that if they succeed in buying you over, you're not going to stop what we're doing. You can't. You cannot. Not in a trillion years. But I need you to appreciate one very simple fact. That at the end of this very race, everybody will testify that indeed Chukwugi Kabiama, the same God of Israel, of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the same God of Ehiri in Aguleri, the same God of Umweri, the same God of Oraeri, the same God of Uweeri, the same God of Arochukwu. Not if you know about the true God, one true God. You will know that indeed, not only is he omnipotent, that same God is the owner of this very agitation. No human being can stop it. We have enemies, and we need to be very, very careful, both within and without. Very, very careful. The next 2 weeks will be very pivotal. Next 2 weeks will be very, very important in the life, or should I say, in this very mission that we have embarked upon. The devil will do everything. And you are going to watch spectacularly how we are going to destroy and shame the enemy. That at the end, every glory and adoration will belong to God and not to man. Now let us go and tell you what is happening that some of you do not understand. I want those of you who are hardcore, those who were chosen before you were born. There were some people who were chosen before they were born to agitate for Biafra restoration. This is a message for you. Those who from their mother's womb they were born to do this very work. You must be very, very strong. Because Biafra will open the eyes of black people all over the world. Because Biafra will mean that blacks from America, blacks from the Caribbean, from Southern America, they will all flood into Africa. It will be like the time that Yeshua was born. Biafra is like a light, a beacon. They will follow it. They will say, let us go and see what is happening there. That is what
Can you hear
those
me?
colonialists do not
Yes.
want.
Yes. Yes.
Can I continue?
Yes. Continue, White Counsel. Yes.
Okay. Well, for those who don't understand, Igbo, the last thing I said in Igbo was an idiom, meaning that seas and many hurdles and many uphills and many gauntlets before you can successfully bring Mazin Nandekano to trial. Because in addition to the extraordinary rendition, which is still a drag, the jury is still out on that extraordinary rendition. On another day, you might see it crop up in court as a barrier with a new complexion. But for now, there are valid grounds to canvass the defense that Mazen Nandekano's trial cannot successfully succeed. And that is why we have this stalemate. That is why we have the impasse. That is why we have this law and this discontinuation of trial, and that is why we have this logjam. As you might have noticed, his trial is no longer ongoing. The judge was recused, but the chief judge of the Federal High Court did not recognize the recusal. So he sent back the file to Justice Binta Nyako, and she's sitting on it. So trial is not ongoing, and this is what we had always requested, that this trial should be discontinued so that there be an opportunity to determine certain questions that we have submitted to the Court of Appeal. The devil, they say, is in the details. This is all I have to say for now because the case is sub judice. As to your second question or first question, I think you wanted to know if some directions were given to the defense. Am I correct?
Yes.
Well, it is not in the business of the Supreme Court to give directions to the defense or to render indirect legal advice to the defense, but there are a few things we discerned, we discovered in the judgment of the Supreme Court that pointed us to the direction that we could go to explore further defenses for Mazen Nandekano. For instance, when the Supreme Court condemned the extraordinary rendition, but they said, however, because the offenses they are alleging Mazen Nandekano committed bordered on national security, and that national security is superior to his rights to being extradited instead of being rendition. They also said that this does not foreclose Mazen Namdekan from exploring other objections he may have when the case comes up before the High Court. We believe that to be an open door that the Supreme Court has created so that nobody will say that Mazen Namdekano's right to raise further preliminary objections has been foreclosed. No, the Supreme Court left that possibility wide open. And then the second one was what the Supreme Court said regarding his bail. The Supreme Court made it clear. Are you hearing me?
Yes,
Yes.
yes.
The Supreme Court made it crystal clear that the High Court should not have revoked his bail.
Mhm.
All the extraordinary rendition an act of crime. It is only because you cannot try a state for a crime, perhaps the Supreme Court would have issued an order for the arrest of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. But you cannot do that. It's a state. The other ways the state can pay for committing such a heinous crime. And those other ways are what we, the members of the legal team, are canvassing that has made Mazen Nandekano's case some sort of ogaranya. So, you went further to say that the federal government committed a crime, or the agents of the federal government committed a crime by renditioning him to Nigeria the way they did, and that
Oh,
Okay.
oh. Network. Network. We must continue. He's back. No. Mm. Okay. So, for those of you at YouTube, I can see a lot of people at YouTube. If you have your question, please, you can just write it down. So I think we cannot bring people in because we have a lot of people here already, and our White Council have to. No, we are whining. Yes, yes.
It keeps coming and going. Well, let me speak quickly.
Okay.
The Supreme Court further said that, yeah, that the proclivity, the evident reluctance of the High Court judge to listen to Mazin Namdekano's side of the story as to why he left Nigeria rendered the impartiality of the High Court judge a suspect. I'm almost quoting it verbatim. My brother Emeka, this second one opened the door for us, or if you will, was an indirect way of pointing us to the direction of seeking or filing an application to restore his bail. Do you understand?
Yes. Yes.
You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
Yes.
you. Continue.
This is why. This is why we made bold to bring forth that application to restore his bail. But unhappily for us, and unfortunately for the High Court, not for us, the High Court judge denied that application without any cogent reason. So we proceeded to the Court of Appeal, where that application is now pending. We hope that the Court of Appeal will do justice to the matter and restore Mazin Namdekano's bail under the tenor, reach, and interpretation of that Supreme Court ruling that he did not jump bail, that his bail should not.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Hello? Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So I hope I have done justice to your two questions. Thank you, my
Yes.
brother, for the questions, and thank you to my brothers and all the listeners out there who have been patient with these network interruptions.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm still here for
Mm.
any further questions.
Yeah. Vice Counsel, please, if you want to respond to the questions, please summarize it, cut it short, because you know the network is not friendly. So, because I know that he want to do
Okay.
justice to the question thrown to you. Uh-huh.
Okay.
As the Cosmos, the state coordinator in from America, please, your question, sir.
Thank you. Thank you, my brother, and thank you, Barrister Ejimakor. Mine is not just a question, but I'm going to summarize everything. Um, Barrister Ejimakor, I use this opportunity to thank you for all you've been doing. You've been tested and trusted, and whoever is fighting against you is fighting against yourself. Onyendo knows what he wants. IPOB knows what we want. So far, you have gone so good. I know I still commend those attorneys that were handling our case before, but a big difference when you took over. We never see Onyendo in courts ever since Onyendo was rendition. Not seeing him, I mean, it's like for him, anybody interviewing him never happened. But we see that happening when you took over the case. Thank you very, very much. His saying things in the court has reassured all Biafrans, home and abroad, that Onyendu is who he is. A lot of people was a lot of rumor from a lot of places that they will do this to Onyendu, and another voice will be coming thinking that it's Onyendu. All this were said, but when they had Onyendu, everybody was echoing, "This is Onyendu I know." Having said, our great attorney, thank you so much on behalf of all Biafrans and those who are here with you. I want to say this. It might be a rumor, I'm not sure, but we heard it that President Tinubu claimed that he wanted to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu unconditionally, but the Biafrans or the Igbo Biafrans, particularly politicians, refused. So I don't know if it is true. I don't know if you heard anything like that, and I don't know what you have to say to it. That is one. Now, as an IPOB coordinator here in Maryland, I know quite well that Simon Ekpa is not and never representing Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Even did not take oath as an IPOB member. He only took oath to interview Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. But the Nigerian government are trying to use him to nail Onyendu one way or the other. But thank God it is now working. Mazi Simon Ekpa is not and will not and never represent IPOB led by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Once again, I must commend you for a work well done. So far, so good. Thank you. This is Mazi Cosmas Duro, an IPOB Maryland coordinator. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mazi Cosmos. First of all, thank you for highlighting that very era, this current era, when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu had a golden opportunity to address the media after every court sitting and also to address the court. Those periods or those events were one of the shining moments of the new legal defense that we have put on the ground for him. Let me leave it at that. Because a lot of times you have to hear from the man himself than hearing from his representatives alone. Then the second one, which pertains to whether Tinubu wanted to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu and Southeast leaders refused, it was to me a rumor as it was to you a rumor. Uh, even if it is true, it is in very bad faith. Those Southeast leaders who would step forward to block the release of their brother and the undisputed Igbo leader and undisputed IPOB leader and undisputed Biafran leader, those Southeast leaders that would step forward to advise Tinubu not to release him will live in infamy. I don't think they may have to account for it one day, if not to the public, but to their conscience, if it is true. But the greater thing about it is, Tinubu is the president, the buck stops at his table. There was a tweet I made today, which was quite lengthy, that Tinubu should not dishonor the United Nations like the Buhari dishonor the United Nations. When the United Nations in July 2022 came out with a verdict that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu should be freed unconditionally, Buhari ignored that verdict and persisted in detaining Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, despite the fact that Nigeria is a bona fide member of the United Nations in good standing. So I made a tweet, which is an article length tweet, containing a screenshot of that very decision or verdict, calling on President Tinubu or urging him not to dishonor or disrespect the United Nations like Buhari had done. And I concluded it by saying that he does not need any court order to free Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I might as well add here, which I did not say on the tweet. Let me add on the prompting of Cosmos that Tinubu does not need the verdict of Southeast leaders or prompting or encouragement of Southeast leaders to release Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Tinubu is the one holding Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. The buck stops at his table. So he alone should be blamed for the continued incarceration of Mazen Namdekano. You notice that some days ago, about 2 weeks ago, he took a proactive presidential step to immediately stop the prosecution of those so-called minors, of the minors that were paraded in federal high court. He took very prompt steps. It was not left to the attorney general to do it. It wasn't left to the DSS to do it. It was not left to anybody else except him. So why then should anybody say that Tinubu is holding Mazen Namdekan on the advice of some other people? Well, if those people are saying that or and advising him, it's for them and their conscience to struggle with it. But I'm not going to pivot on that or rely on that to exculpate Tinubu from a responsibility that is exclusively his own. Thank you.
Yeah. Ndewo, 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 ndewo,
Thank
Mazi.
you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ndewo,
Thank you
Mazi.
very
Mazi,
much.
before I go to our next question to from Mazi Okezie, the White Council, we must appreciate you. Biafrans appreciating you, granting media passage to our leader Mazi Nanikano, done a lot of things to Biafrans. Granting media access to our leader since you took over, clear a lot of lies and propaganda. That alone is wonderful. We are appreciating you for that. Because before then, before you took over, only when we came to court, at the end of the day, it will also put backyard. Phew! Nobody knows. They are telling us they want Onyendu to undergo surgery in DSS. A lot of propaganda. They were telling us that Onyendu is not who he is. But since you took over, you make media access to Mazinani Kano, and we are seeing the difference. And we say, Mechukwu Okike Abiyama, Goziwegu, Kewegu, Ndewo Mazi. Let's go to
Thank
Mazi.
you.
Yeah, let's go to Mazi Okezie. Mazi, please, your question, please.
Ndewo.
Ndị
Uh,
ekezie nwanne m ụgọzie gị.
our Vice Counsel, I'm so much glad to see you and interact with you. In fact, you have done a marvelous job beside Mazin, on the side of Mazin Nandego in the case. Because, especially this media issue, because even
I'm
the
not seeing you.
you're not hearing me.
I can hear you, but I can't see you. You are not Ephraim.
No,
You are not.
Ekezie.
You are not Mecca. You are not Ezumez. You are not
Okay,
Mazi Chukwu. Is
okay.
that Chukwuma?
Yes, my name is Chukuma Ekezie.
Okay, I'm not seeing the Ekezie one. I'm seeing only Chukwuma. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, by special God grace, IPOP, E3 National Treasurer, and also Sandona Coordinator.
Thank you.
I thank you so much for what he did on the side of media. Is worthy of applause because before even people he give a position lying to us, the poison onion, creating a lot of confusion, even disobeying the order given by onion. I thank God immediately this media issue burst out. Everybody burst to corner. And all these their lie and blackmail just went by the side. And my question is here. Since Onyendu made you a leading counsel, I had your former colleague still saying that he's a leading counsel to IPOB. Do we have two leading counsel to IPOB? That is one question. Another question I want to ask is that I know that you are not Barrister Emeka Ejimakor, but there is a memo. There is a memo from Mazi Nnemeka Ejiofor, and that one copy goes to Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, and one copy to Chike Doziem, and one copy to then lead counsel Ejiofor. I don't know whether you are aware of that memo that IPOP leadership should not interfere in Simon Ekpa issue. They should leave Simon Ekpa alone and do what he's doing. They should focus on IPOP issue. And also they should not remove some coordinators and some principal officers he appointed to lead this struggle. That these people, Chike, Doziem, and Co, disobey. I don't know whether you are aware of that memo because they lie that that memo is not from Onyende, that is from Mazi Kanonta Kanonta. So I want to know whether you are aware of that memo or not. This is my two questions there.
Thank you, Chukuma. I'm committed to telling you people and the listeners out there the truth and nothing but the truth. To take your first question, um, it's a very easy question. It's also a difficult question. I think that question will be best uh, handled by Mazin Namdekano at the next opportune moment. He does not approve of his lawyers or anybody, especially his lawyers, making controversial statements or provoking some kind of a civil war. He wants us to speak with a lot of restraint. So that very question as to whether IPOB has two lead counsels or not, I have noticed that maybe it's something that the public will want some clarifications on. But the best person that will give that clarification is Mazen Nandekan. So I'll leave it at that. At the best opportune moment, he will do so. And the second one is that the memo you are talking about, I have seen the memo. I didn't see the memo privately. I saw it on the internet. I saw it on social media. And I had the opportunity of interacting with Mazen Nandekano. And he told me that the memo was issued on his direct instructions and order. And Barrister Nemeke Ejiofor is my colleague. He also confirmed. He's on his letterhead. So the authenticity of the memo or validity of the memo is beyond doubt. It's beyond reproach. Mazin Namdekan is the one that instructed him to issue that memo. I think the memo was issued as of December 2022. I don't think it was even December last year. It was a certain December, but I think it was December 2022.
Yes, 15th December.
December 15, December 15,
Yes.
2022.
Yes. So it's almost 2 years now. So in my reckoning, I think maybe a lot of things in that memo may have been overtaken by events. But what the memo tells you and what the appearances Mazin Nandekano made in court and spoke to the media tells you or tell you collectively is that all the propaganda, lies, well, everything that was said, suspicion about Mazin Nandekano's mental state, or whether Aloy Ejimakor was going in there and bringing out falsehood and lies, because they targeted me on that, a certain segment of the people, not you. Some people targeted me, they didn't target the other lawyers. Each time I visited Mazen Nandekano and came out, they would say that everything I said was a lie. It was the same way they rubbished the memo from Nemeke Ejiofor. But if you listen to what Mazen Nandekano said in court, on those occasions, a lot of those things were in idioms, metaphors, and proverbs. As a man of wisdom, he decided it was best for him not to name names or to be too direct. But ndị Igbo na-atụ ilu si ndị agwala amalụgo, ịchakịrị gbamgbam onye agwala amalụgo. ntakịrị gbamgbam onye a gwara amalugo. So onye ọbụla gelu ntị, everybody that listening to Maazị Nnamdi Kanu press statements from inside the courtroom in the recent past will understand where his fingers are pointing to. If he made any remarks in my direction, I will know. I don't need my name. I don't need my name to be mentioned. But the most important thing, most important takeaway is that by his statements, it is now beyond doubt that all the messages that were emanating from me and Barrister Emeka were authentic. Those that declare those messages as falsehoods and inauthentic and not emanating from Maazị Nnamdi Kanu were doing it in order to justify disobeying his direct orders and directions. Simple as that. It wasn't being done innocently. They knew Maazị Nnamdi Kanu's mental state was intact. They knew nobody was going to take doctors to Maazị Nnamdi Kanu inside DSS to operate on his ear, which they accused me of trying to do. They knew all those things were lies. But they were propagating them anyway for their own, selfish purposes. I think it was to defend themselves against the very glaring fact that they disobeyed the directives, and orders of the supreme leader of IPOB, which I don't think should have happened. So that's my answer to your questions. Thank you.
Thank you so much, because this memo, especially this memo, is where I stand today and know that people have some people come for destruction, not to because there is a day I know a day. What can I say? Onyendo wives made a mention of something that when you want to know the person who loves you, is the flower the person planted. You keep on watering that flower, not to uproot it and put your own flower. You are not to build
Correct.
the person, which means, hence these people know that onion they have already decided and make up their mind not to do onion. That is why they come up with a lot of black mess. I thank you so much, Barrister, for this clarification. There.
I thank you, and I will seek your permission. I will thank you. I will seek the permission of our host, Ezumezu Nwekwensu. Na aha nke ya, aha ya ọ dịkwa ebube. Enwekwa ndị afọ a ga na-eyi egwu, mana ọ dịghịkwa m egwu.
On that note, Barrister, the White Council, because I want you to use 1 minute to tell our people about this Ekwensu. What do you understand by this Ekwensu, please? Use 1 minute, because.
Okay, let me tell you this. Let me tell you this. In Igbo mythology, Ekwensu really doesn't mean a bad person. Ekwensu is like Amadioha. Ekwensu is like Abu. It's like a deity. A deity. Eji akpọ mmadụ iyi. If you do so much wrong, they say Ekwensu mekwe gị nka, or Amadioha mee gị nka, or Abu mee gị nka. So when the colonialists came, somehow the Christian pilgrims considered Ekwensu the equivalence of Satan or Lucifer, or the opposite of God. But that is not true. Ekwensu is a very powerful deity, or a very powerful mythical being amongst Igbos that we make reference to. Ka e wee yie mmadụ egwu, ndị ọjọọ ka e were yie onye ọjọọ egwu. Asịa nna ime ife a gị na Ekwensu ya agbakwa mgba, gị na Amadioha ya agbakwa mgba, egwu ewee baa ya arụ.
Yeah.
Now, the pilgrim fathers who brought Christianity twisted it the other way and, sort of now, made Ekwensu to mean Lucifer or Satan. It's not. So, Ezume Ezume Ekwensu, your name is proper and is in good order. And I love mouthing it. On that note, I will ask your permission to exit. My battery is 2%. If I
Oh,
start charging the phone, it won't be a good idea. It will not stand well again.
oh,
So let me exit, and I promise you, I will come back shortly at your pleasure, maybe in the next 2 weeks, because I'll be doing a program next weekend with Chinwako. Chinwako saw your flyer and sent me information and said, "Hey, Aloy, now you are free to talk." All more next weekend. So okay, yes, I'm a bit more free to talk now. And Rudolph Okonkwo too of
oh,
Dr. Damage. He saw your flyer and
ah,
sent me message today this morning and say, they are all seeing your flyers. I said, okay, I'll talk to you, Rudolph, Dr. Damages. I'll talk to you after Chiwak of Canada, Dr. Chiwak Chede.
yeah,
So on the upper week or 4 weeks from today, 3 weeks from today, you can
yeah.
have me on it. I thank
Okay,
all of you, my brethren. I
yeah,
thank you, Cosmos, Onye Maryland, even. I
yeah.
used to live there.
Mm.
I thank you, Emeka. I thank you, Chukuma. Of course, I also thank you, Ephraim, and I thank you, Mazi Iwabu. Because
Yeah,
I thank everybody who listened to this
I
program.
press that shit again.
And
I
I
press
encourage
it.
all of you to continue tuning in to Ezume. He's doing very well. Thank
yeah,
you and goodbye.
yeah.
Thank you very much.
Well, thank you so much.
Yeah, well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Thank,
sir.
yeah, thank you so much, our wise counsel. Thank you
Good
so much.
Okay.
program.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Okay.
well,
Bye
thank you
bye.
so much.
Oh, okay. Bye bye.
yeah. So please, Ephraim, now, I this one, I know you have a question to ask, huh? But as you can see, our wise counsel not try a lot. My network issue, my battery issue, it keep on coming up, coming up to this point. So just like he said, upcoming 2 weeks or 3 weeks, we will still have him. We will still have him here. But before then, I will also try to see if we can have Barrister Nnemeka on our platform. Because platform and our someone where on Kuno Kai. And that's why please join us. Please join us. Of course, someone. All right, So we will try to see if we can have Barrister Nnemeka, also Barrister Maswell, you know, so that we can able to ask them a couple of questions, no. So Ekenemun, my senior, the senior IPOB principal officers for coming to the program. Asa m Chukwu okike abịa ma goziwe nwoke goziwe nwaanyị anyị gbuo n'aka ndị mma mma igbuo n'aka ekpe mma mma onye si n'isi anyị na-awa aja ewuru isi a wite wee chụọ na aja awarịda maazị Nnamdi Kanu ọgalugo ọ ya natala onwe ya eme ya n'ihi na ilo na-asị na-egwu ana ọfọ na ogwu enwelu mkpochi ana m asị ọ ya mara anyị mma onwe nwere okwu ikwu before we wind down close.
Biko ihe m ga-ekwu na ekelele gị ọfụma gala ndị kpọtara atịnị anyị ka anyị na-akparị ya taa biko ọ
Yeah,
ga-adị gị na mma iwikenga
yeah,
iwikenga
yeah.
and igbo na-respect ikenga ọfụma
Yeah,
biko nwanne m ịgbalịala nwa ekwensu
yeah.
onye kwụnye esu ịnọ nọchi ike
All right,
nọchiri
yeah,
anyị ka ọ
ndewo.
ga-adịrị onye ọbụla mma all my customers thank you thank you
Ise. Yeah, thank you so much.
In another short speech, Mazi
Yeah,
Ezmezu, thank you so much,
yeah,
at least to bring our able and wise counsel, as you said it, and
yeah,
it's not easy. But at
yeah,
least I have already cleared some certain things here, and our listeners, we know that we are up to something.
yeah,
Ayana Akoja Akoja, we are here for real. We are
yeah,
here to defend the Biafra and make sure that Onyend is out of that dungeon.
Yeah.
and he regain his freedom, and Biafra also get his
Mm.
date of referendum. That is why Oyendi is there. He want to negotiate the out of Biafra. That is why
Yeah.
he's there. If not, he have already just to sign a deal and walk out from that place and go his way.
It's
Regarding
open.
our people. So I thank you so much, and the listeners that are here
Mm.
with us. I say, Onya Afrotak, Afukwa Yechi. Never.
He say. Yeah. Mazi Flem.
Mazi, thank you very much. Thank you very much. You did well. You did justice to everything here. So, because the question I was about to ask, some of our members they are worried about the health issue of our leaders. So, just for him to clarify, so that our members will still be, they will still have a kind of a rest of mind that
Yeah.
rest assured that Oyendo is okay, his
Yeah.
health and all that. So, I believe next time when he's coming up, he's going to still elaborate on that and tell people because many people are very, very worried about his health
Yeah.
issue. They always want to know about his health issue. So by next time when it comes up, he will do justice to that. So thank you
Yeah.
very much, and thanks to Biafrans, the viewers, and everyone. We keep keeping on, and until we get to our destination, we are not backing down. We've
Yeah.
taken over, and we remain there. We are not handing over to anybody because we stand here. We make sure that we do everything possible that Oyendo will be freed and
Yeah.
Biafra will be restored. Thank you very much. Thank you all. Mazi Emeke Wago, thank you personally because I've seen your job. Mazi Chukwumekeze, Chukwugoziona, Mazi
Thank you.
Zumezu, Mazi Cosmos, Ndewono. Thank you very much. Thank you,
Yeah.
viewers.
Yeah, and they won. Like us, they will tell you, hey, how many people are watching our program. But believe me, thousands. You can see what Anthony White Counsel said. Even look for Dr. Damages. They got the flyer. A lot of people know they are watching. They are underground, but on YouTube can able to show us 62 people now. But Facebook, they will be watching you, but you will not. But we don't care. We move because our message is getting to them. This is the fact. So I have tried next time. We see if we can have the barrister Nnemeka Ejiofor to come on our program because I know that he have a lot to say again to say because we still have a very a lot of questions we have asked the Vice Counsel, but due to the battle, the circumstances did not permit him. That we appreciate the time he spent with us. We can see his effort. We can see his consistency. Try he go out, he come in, he go out, he come in. No, we appreciate. Mazi, the national provost, ka ebi nwee gwa anyị akwa mmechi ka anyị nọzi.
Mazi, or the provost, National PRO, Public
National
Relation
P. I'm
Officer.
sorry, I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Please, the
National
same
PRO.
provost.
I'm
Now,
sorry. I'm sorry.
how a showman and provost may arrest.
I'm sorry. PRO. I'm sorry. Mm.
Thank you, Mazi.
Yeah,
It's amazing way Quincy.
yeah.
Thank you. The Council has exonerated you.
Mm.
So, after ahụ, o nwere ndị ọ na-eyi egwu.
Dịka nwaanyị isi ọcha na France.
Nwaanyị ahụ ga na-afụ gị na nrọ oge ọbụla. Okay, I thank all of you. Please, I'm so grateful to you, Mazi Ezumezu.
Yeah,
The effort you put in this and it's very successful, and I'm very grateful
yeah,
to you. And like you just said, hopefully we'll see more of this.
yeah,
After Attorney Nemeka, we'll probably see some other people that will come into this.
yeah,
And I know that this program will generate other programs because they're watching you.
yeah,
And they probably tell you something within these few days. they will tell you something that will catch your attention, and then the more they tell you, the more you grow, and it's wonderful. Hopefully, by or before Christmas, Onyendu will be here with us. I just keep getting that feeling. I don't know who's giving me that.
Yeah.
But
ise mbosi eke mbosi onye mbosi abụ mbosi nkwọ afịa na igbo na-azụ ka ikwu ka ole n'ihi na ọ naghị adị ile n'ọnụ ofeke n'ọnụ ndị dibịa ka ọ na-ele ka ikwu ka ole n'ọnụ mmụọ ka iji wee kwu ka ikwu ka o mee ise.
Oge ọbụla, when I think about this case, that's the message I'm getting, that hopefully he will be with us before this Christmas. And by then, we'll see what happened and we'll celebrate it. And we move on from there. Because that's all we're waiting for. We need to come out and the train will move. The train will move. The train is sitting and warming up.
Yeah.
Onyendu is coming out. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I thank everybody. I congratulate everybody. Thank you, my brothers.
Mazi Ogbonna, can you say something? I'm on okay now. No, I don't think so. No. Okay. So, my wonderful people of Biafra, here we call it a day. Ana m asị unu onye afọ taa ka afọ echi, ndụ nwoke ndụ nwaanyị. For those of you on Facebook that are hiding watching, ndụ unu ya adị. For those of you that make yourself visible, ndụ unu ya adị. For those of you on YouTube, ask ndụ unu ya adị. If you are not subscribed on my YouTube, please go and subscribe on the YouTube. Ikechukwu Ezumezu. No, it's wonderful. The YouTube is wonderful. YouTube, we started only with 3 people, but we are almost 600 subscribers in YouTube. It's wonderful. And my way Ezoku Amaka, because we started this journey with truth, and we shall end this journey with truth. All goes ready. So I'm soon. Only after I have echi. No, we are hoping that we will have Barrister Nnemeka Ejiofor. No, ngwa ka ọ dịrị anyị na mma. Ndewo. Yeah, bye bye. Yeah.
The ship of minds is so my Counsel. Ipob in the building, we stand strong in all we do. Under the leadership of Onyendu Masenambikanu. Let's go. Counsel. I rise like the sun, my spirit unbreakable. In the struggle for freedom, my resolve unshakable. From the streets of social media, I make my stand. A warrior with the voice fighting for our land. Ipob with the heartbeat of the nation. Our dreams of Biafra fill out to the nation. From Facebook to Twitter, we spread the truth. I'm the kind of leading, guiding our youth. I'm a freedom fighter, flying high in the digital skies. Watch me touch the sky. My quest will never back down. I be up with the voice of our town. My timeline's a canvas where I paint my truth, exposing injustice, demanding our youth. We're more than hashtags, be a movement so strong. Ipob family, together we belong. From the X handle to Instagram stories, we amplify our voices, share our glories. Masenambikanu's wisdom lights our way. In this fight for justice, we won't sway. I'm a freedom fighter, flying high in the digital skies. Watch me touch the sky. My quest will never back down. I be up with the voice of our town. From the X handle to Instagram stories, we amplify our voices, share our glories. Masenambikanu's wisdom lights our way. In this fight for justice, we won't sway. I'm a freedom fighter, flying high in the digital skies. Watch me touch the sky. My quest will never back down. I be up with the voice of our town. heroes of history, the fire in our eyes. Our struggles not in vain, we reach for the skies. Mazenande Kanu, our beacon of hope, guiding us forward, helping us cope. I'm a freedom fighter, flying high in the digital skies. Watch me touch the sky. So never back down. Ipob with the voice of our town. Yeah, shout out to all my IPR brothers and sisters. Keep the flame burning, keep fighting for what's right. Mazenande Kanu, we salute you.